let's come back to Nigeria now and have our first conversation. And it concerns a threat. Vehicle clearing agents are threatening to halt work following the introduction of the National Automobile Commission levy. Vehicles clearing agents say they will close their stores this week. So it's obviously important that we have this conversation and find out from them. Well, it's not a new issue. We've had them on before to talk about the 15% National Automobile Commission levy imposed by the Nigeria Customs Service. We do have to clear the air and tell us the threats and where the plan and way forward. Dr. Kaide Farrington, he's the acting national president of the Nigeria Licensed Customs Agent, joining us. Good morning, Dr. Farrington. Good to have you here.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. Good morning.
So even though not very good situation because you're threatening to down tool. I know we've been down this road before where you actually that time, I think for about a week or so, there were no clearing of vehicles at the port and it really caused a lot of chaos and we're not ready to see that again. And it's still about this vehicle levy.
Yes,
I thought you guys had a meeting with the Customs Service.
Yes, what happened is there was a meeting last week where Nigerian Customs Service called for a stakeholders meeting, and that meeting was as a result of the VIM valuation where we actually complained that the stakeholders were not carried along. So they are trying to dot the T's and cross the I's. So they now invited us, subjected their values to scrutiny. We looked at it. They want our buy-in into the program. It's okay. For now, we have advised them on what to do, particularly the gray areas on what to clear. They have not considered the issue of accidented vehicles, salvage vehicles, and all these things must be put into consideration. But this time around, it has to do with National Automotive Council, which was actually slammed on the used vehicles, about 15%.
You guys say it should be only on new vehicles.
Yes, that's what the law says. Act number 6 of 2014 spoke about the National Automotive Council, and that act was an act of national parliament, and said that NAC will be slammed on fully built imported vehicles or new spare part for vehicles, not on used vehicles. So now that the government is trying to misinterpret the law, there's need for Nigerians to know what is happening. Okay, incidentally, we were actually in Abuja in that meeting, and the national president of motor dealer was in that meeting, and we did complain about this. We went to the Federal Ministry of Finance about this particular issue, and up to now we have not heard anything from them. So Nigerians are not too happy about it, particularly stakeholders. And we also told Nigerian Customs Service, there's need for you to carry along the various stakeholders when issues like this happen. Even if it's a directive from the Federal Ministry of Finance, carry us along before implementation. We will now know how to tackle it headlong. So that is the issue of NAC.
All right, but the NCS, the Customs Service, is saying that this is in compliance with the Economic Community of West Africa Common External
No, that's far from true. That's not true. If they say it's in compliance from ECOWAS, it is not true. We are privileged to know what is happening in ECOWAS. The ECOWAS now, they are trying to liberalize scheme, and every country that is a signatory to that convention must key into the HS code and the rate of duty. What Nigerian government is trying to do is that before now, duty on vehicles were 35%. But because we are signatory to that convention and they must comply, and that is why they need to reverse to 20% on used vehicles. Now, how do we get the other money? Now bringing in the issue of saying all used vehicles now must pay 15% NAC, which is National Automotive Council. And that was not the intention of the law. So government is just trying to be smart by half. And when we met Nigerian Customs Service, they gave us a circular, which we actually disseminated and gave to our members. It actually emanated from Nigerian Federal Ministry of Finance. What they are trying to do, that's what we call import adjustment tax. For every nation that is a producing nation, like you are producing new vehicle, and you want to protect the local assemblers, then you can now introduce the import adjustment tax so that the local assemblers will be produced and protected. However, in the last 10 years that this law has been, this levy has been even collected on new vehicles, we cannot even produce radiator, let alone, not even light. So it is the law that was actually enacted to enrich some categories of Nigeria and not in the interest of the masses. And that is not too good for our economy. As I talk to you now, in the next 1 or 2 months, those our younger youth who are actually going to Uber or buying all these small vehicles will not be able to afford it again. because of the implementation of
because of this commission.
yes,
and you
this,
still have the VIN.
Yeah, we still have the VIN. No, with the VIN now, the VIN, what we're trying to do what Custom is trying to do on the issue of the VIN is across board, you have a minimum uniform value, which is not too bad. If there's going to be changes, this difference should not be more than maybe 1,000, 2,000, at most 5,000. A situation where in a Papa port you clear a vehicle and the difference that of Tinkan is running into hundreds of thousands going into the same market, we believe that this is not too good for Nigeria. We as professionals and our importers have been calling us name on this issue, and we told them, let us see how we can do this. Fashion is in the Ghana system where if you have your consignment, particularly vehicle, the moment you input your VIN chassis, it gives you the duty that you have to pay. No custom officer will now stop such vehicle on the road. If you see what is happening in our seaport now, as soon as our members even manage to leave the seaport, we still have various custom unit formation slamming and intercepting these same vehicles and consignment that have been cleared from our seaport. That's not too good for our environment. And that's why we say, let us see a better system that will at least help the industry. And that was why the VIN valuation came on board. But the issue of a NAC is not an ECOWAS thing. Whoever is telling you ECOWAS is just trying to be very, very funny.
Okay,
it is
so
a federal government thing.
These threats of halting work,
we've
been through it before, and it was not a pleasant experience.
It wasn't.
When was the plan? Are you talking to...
Yeah, if not that we have been pacifying our youth, by now they will have closed down the port because they feel it, and we also feel what they feel because we are actually going to the same market, and we know what is, and most of the fact that it's not even easy to get a bill of lading. But what we're trying to say is that the last time we closed down the port, over 700 million naira were paid in terms of demaurages and storage, which is not the port of the importer, nor the port of the freight forwarder. Ideally, in a normal climb, Nigerian Customs Service should be giving apology to the whole Nigerians and paying that money. But because Nigeria, anything goes, it's very, very unfortunate. We are still in Banana Republic. So we're not trying to tell our members, for now, let the strike be the last resort. As I talk to you now, we are going to host the various motor dealers association for another dialogue tomorrow. After that, we'll now move to Abuja. If government now refuses to listen, there will be a one-day warning strike. After that, there will be a total close down of the port, and not in the Western Zone alone. It's going to be across the country, because it is not about the issue of even NAC alone. We're not going to bring the issue of arbitrary jack-up on power and many other issues that have been militating against cargo clearance in the port, which are barriers to trade. We'll now bring it to the front burner and close down all the ports. But for now, we're still negotiating, and we're still talking to our members that let that one be our last resort, because closing down the port, in view of what is happening post-COVID-19, and the fact that Nigeria import is actually, economy is import dependent, we think that for now it is too early to talk about strike. But as it is going, if government refuses to listen, there will be a one-day warning strike. Then before we now close down the whole port.
When you talk about government, are you talking of the customs service?
No, not customs. It's the Federal Ministry of Finance. Federal Ministry of Finance is the supervisory ministry of customs. Whatever customs does is actually a kind of a directive from the Federal Ministry of Finance. When I was actually blaming them, they brought out the circular and we circulated it to our members. The circular was signed by the Honorable Minister of Finance herself, and it was dated 7th of April for implementation. It is unfortunate that they are misinterpreting the law. Section 10 of this law said that there will be 2% of cost, insurance, and freight on imported newer vehicles or imported new spare parts for motor vehicles, and not new vehicles.
All right, just before we let you go now, tell us, paint for us the picture. If this, with or without this 15% NAC, paint for us an average cost, you know, of clearing a vehicle at this time.
Let me say this, that if VIN is now introduced, don't forget there's a law that talks about the fact that only 10 years of vehicles that can come in, 15 years of truck can come in, or buses. So if this, with the implementation of this new 15% NAC now, we're going back to the era of 35%. It's not far from it. And what ECOWAS want to achieve is to see a situation where trade will be liberalized, duties will be reduced, and if you want to even protect the local assemblers, then you can now start talking about all new vehicles, not used vehicles. I take it from whether you like it or not, the rate of smuggling will increase in the next 1 or 2 weeks. And it's unfortunate that vehicles that were clearing maybe for 1 million naira before now will not just go to about 1.6 million naira. And that's why I say all those our youth that are buying the Toyota Corollas, the Toyota Avensis for Uber may not be able to afford it again. It's very, very unfortunate this is happening.
All right, we do appreciate the fact that you're still having conversations with the government. We'll certainly stay on this story and hope that, eventually it's balanced both for the Ministry of Finance and for the clearing agents and the youths out there that you're talking about. Thank you so much, Dr. Kaide Farinto, Acting National President of Nigeria Licensed Customs Agents. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.